let's talk about that then. So, is Piers Charles going to leave Sheffield Wednesday? The Star have reported as follows: Sheffield Wednesday wait on decision after League One inquiry for exciting talent. The Star understands League One outfit Crawley Town have made an inquiry about taking the talented teen on loan for the season, but with Hamer out, he is now second to James Beadle for the spot in Rolls 11, and Wednesday can't really afford to let him leave. It may be that he still moves on depending on what happens now and between the close of the window, but if he's still at Middlewood Road come September 1st, he can still head out for more regular game time via emergency loans to the National League. What do you think is going to happen with Piers Charles? Because it's worth mentioning as well from the Wednesday website, Sheffield Wednesday have added young goalkeeper Killian Barrett to the ranks ahead of the 24-25 campaign. He's been really, is it non-league, really well rated, this player?
Really well rated.
And we've looked and took a gamble on him, which could be, again, a great move, especially for a 20-year-old goalkeeper.
It reminds me a little bit of when we got Sam Reid, and we are starting to do more things when it comes to non-league players, and I think it's something we needed to do for the longest time. Look elsewhere and bring them into our academy and see where we build them from there. Right. It's an interesting one on the Piers Charles. What I think we should do and what I want us to do are two different things.
Okay.
What I think we should do, I think we should loan him out. He needs to play week in, week out. I don't think his development gets any better with him being on the bench and playing cup games. I just don't. I think he needs to go out, get loans and play. Then hopefully next season you look at him maybe looking at a starting place in the squad. Because if you look at what Beadle's doing, they're the same age, but Beadle's just that bit ahead of him with where he is in Brighton's development and stuff like that. I think he got the ability to be Wednesday's number one next season if he goes and has a really good loan spell. What I suspect will happen is that they will probably see what happened with Ben, make sure his finger's healed, and it'll either be done on a deadline day or he'll go to non-league, where I don't think going to non-league is going to help him. He needs to go into a league club team where he can get the practice. I think somewhere like a League One team or a team who looks like they might just be going up from League Two is where he needs to be. I don't think keeping him here, unless you're going to be able to say you're going to play X amount of games, it's going to help him. I just don't think it's going to help. I think he needs to go out on loan. He needs to go have a loan spell, but we need to make sure that our backup keeper's injury is all healed and ready to go. And because it's his fingers, you need to just make sure it's got that extra bit of time just to make sure it's healed.
I couldn't have said that much better than myself, because I was thinking the same thing. It all depends on the Hamer injury. But for me, because you've signed Barrett, is it, the new keeper? Yeah, because you've signed Barrett, he can sit in that Charles position. Charles can go and get a loan spell and become that player we know he can be. Get the confidence under his belt. It's now it's not now or never, but it's now where he can really step up. And because we're not going to keep Beadle forever, the likelihood. So we might. That could be a thing. You know, if we get promoted, we could sign Beadle. But that's a big if.
I'm going to say that's a big stretch there, James.
Yeah, that's a big stretch. But actually having like Charles come through, again, you're talking about sellable assets, you're talking about players that can build, is good. I've been looking a little bit at about Crawley, and I might need to be corrected in the comments because it's hard to build this, but from everything I can see, it suggests their current side plays a possession-based style of football.
They do.
Which, if they do, that is ideal for a player like Piers Charles to go out on loan to, because it definitely means sort of like playing out from the back, the keeper using his feet. Exactly what we do. We play probably with a little bit more of a press. I wouldn't say we like to have possession, but we're not necessarily obsessed with it. I would say from seeing us, we're more about the intensity, but going to that sort of side will mean that Charles is developing, playing out from the back, being comfortable on the ball in high pressure situations, real games, professional games. And I think that's what's best for him right now. He goes and does that. You sit Barrett on the bench and play him in the cup, give him a chance while Hamer's healing. And then when Hamer comes back in, he's our number 2, and we keep Barrett does really, really well, and Barrett stays the number 2. And sorry, Hamer, you've missed your chance. It's unfortunate. This is how the football game goes when you get an injury as a keeper. I think that is the ideal situation.
With Crawley Town, they had let go a lot of their current squad that got them up because they were on long, short-term deals. It's weird because Crawley Town are like owned by I think they're owned by like Bitcoin people, like cryptocurrency kind of stuff. If I remember, kind of, it was always interesting. It's like they were, but I think they had someone come and take over from it, kind of thing to like take another. So I can't remember if they still are owned or they are owned by them, but it changed with how they do it. I am going to be very interested to see what we do with Pierce Charles, because if you actually look at what Pierce Charles does with his feet, he is actually, some of the balls he played during pre-season, they're banana from the back.
I'm really excited about him, so I want him to go and get game time. That should be the priority. Him going to get game time. So that's what I want to see for Pierce Charles, and I'm excited to see if we can get the best out of this. If we might have found a non-league gem. We don't usually do that, so that's exciting. We've done the right thing with the keepers. We were stagnating on the likes of Dawson, and Dawson was never going to fit our system. Let's be brutally honest. I like Dawson. I had a lot of time for Dawson, but him and Wildsmith were not going to. They'd been at the club for too long and not pushed hard. They'd not pushed in hard enough. Whereas Pierce Charles, at his age, has already been talked about as he could be nearly there with a loan under his belt. Yeah. And whereas Dawson, we were like, he needs to keep getting loaned, and he never did. But we never felt comfortable enough putting him in properly, and then we only put him in the lower leagues.
Wildsmith had that just before he got that big injury. When he got that big injury, it all went.
Yeah. But we've got a player there.
There we
are. And I want to see him going and get game time.